In this video, we're going to discuss the alarming rise in dementia in the United States and around the world. And I'm going to give you four uh, easy things that you can do to change your lifestyle so that you will reduce the risk of dementia as you grow older. So stay tuned for that. My name is Eric. I am a certified life coach. I am also a senior health coach. And everything that I say here is my opinion. It's not medical advice. Remember to always check with your doctor when you change your diet or your activity level. So the CDC came out with a finding in 2022 that 4% of all individuals over the age of 65 have been diagnosed with dementia. Over the age of 85, 13%. And they also said that if you are over 55 right now, there is a 41% chance that you will be diagnosed with dementia sometime during the rest of your life. So these are alarming findings. Um, I uh, have a number of people in my family who have had dementia. On my father's side, he had dementia towards the end of his life. As well as his brother, my uncle, and his sister, my aunt. On my mother's side, she has two sisters, and both of her sisters have passed now, but they both had severe dementia towards the end of their lives. And this is very difficult for families because we don't know very well how to deal with this, how to interact with someone who no longer remembers who you are when you come to visit, and their ability to take care of themselves becomes greatly reduced. And if they're still living on their own, then you're concerned about their safety. Um, it's a difficult issue. So here are four things you can do to prevent or help prevent getting dementia as you grow older. Number one is, yeah, I want to know which, I'm trying to figure out which one to talk about first. Number one is your activity level. So, dementia is a disease of the brain. And um, if you are more physically active, it has an effect on your brain. So, for example, walking every day, going to the gym, lifting weights, um, doing yoga, um, just being active, maybe kayaking or playing tennis or pickleball. I know pickleball has become very popular recently, ping pong, um, anything like this where you're moving around. It doesn't have to be, anything strenuous. My wife and I love to walk. We walk every morning and every evening. Usually, well, my goal is always an hour walk. Sometimes we only have 40 minutes or 45 minutes. Sometimes we walk longer than an hour if we have time, especially in the evening. It's a great time for us to talk and just catch up with our day and things we've been doing and thinking about. So, walking and any kind of exercise, no matter what it is, just get more physically active. Um, some people like to jog. I don't recommend it because it can be hard on your joints and it increases your cortisol levels. Um, what else? Um, Swimming. I have been a lap swimmer for many years. I currently don't go. I'm taking a year off from it. That's a whole nother discussion. But there are indoor swimming pools, natatoriums like the YMCA, and there probably is a local gym where you can go swim as well. Great, it's a great form of exercise. This will improve your brain health and keep your brain healthy as you grow older. So move. That's what I have to say. Number two, your diet. So what are you eating? This is something I'd like to talk with you personally about. Write down what you eat. What are you eating every day? And on that list, if it includes sugar, anything with sugar in it, breakfast cereal, are you putting sugar, in your coffee or tea? Are you drinking hot chocolate? Are you drinking orange juice or sodas? Um, Sugar is very damaging to your brain, and I'll explain this. Um, we'll talk about other things in your diet too, what you should be eating. But the reason I want you to cut out sugar is, as you know, it elevates your blood glucose levels. Your body secretes insulin to counteract that. Well, what's going on in um, your brain requires about 20% of all the calories that you need every day. Your brain is a glucose burner, but it also can use ketones. So, but as you know, if you eat too much sugar and grains and things like that over uh, many years, that you can develop type 2 diabetes, which is when your blood sugar is elevated and then your body just can't secrete enough insulin to keep the sugar levels low. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I think I've got my tissue ready. It's going to be loud if I do. I'm suppressing it. Okay. Um, so, and you know how damaging type 2 diabetes can be, especially if it's unchecked. It can cause blindness, can cause neuropathy, it can cause ulcers, um, you know, gangrene. I mean, I've seen these bad things happen to people just from type 2 diabetes. Um, but dementia can also be labeled as type 3 diabetes. So, if one way that dementia can be caused is by prolonged elevated blood sugar levels. And this can be easily brought under control just by cutting out your sugar intake. Stop eating, that ice cream at night. Um, and the things that you should be eating is more protein. Your brain, your body needs protein to be healthy. So eat eggs and fish and pork and beef and chicken. All these things are so good for your brain to stay healthy. And when it comes to fruit, I think a lot of fruits are too high in natural sugars, which again can cause that elevated blood sugar level if your body is becoming insulin resistant. So the fruits that I recommend are berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, but there's all kinds of berries that you can get. Those are the ones that are common in the grocery store. Strawberries. I would not eat bananas on a regular basis because they're very high in sugar, and I love bananas. Apples, again, I, that would be like a once a week treat for me to eat a banana or an apple or a mango. Mango is something I'd eat when I'm on vacation. Pineapple, these are all very high in sugar. So, keep your fruit intake to just berries because they're low in sugar and they're still a nice treat. You can have them with yogurt. Um, I I make my wife breakfast every morning. I cook her eggs, and I put different things in the eggs. It might be chopped up onions or mushrooms, or I'll chop up some bacon and put in her eggs. I'll give her some broccoli sprouts, which are I grow broccoli sprouts. I'll talk about that in another video. But I always put some berries on her plate, and she just loves, the berries. I like adding the color to the plate, so I always tell her the berries are for color on your plate, but you can eat them too if you want. So, um, but vegetables, cruciferous vegetables are the healthiest ones. Again, they're low in carbohydrates, therefore they're not going to elevate your blood sugar levels very much. What are cruciferous vegetables? Cabbage, Brussels sprouts, uh, broccoli, cauliflower. These are the principal ones that I would recommend filling your plate with. But then the meat is so important. If you restrict your diet to these kinds of foods, you will notice remarkable improvements in health, um, reduction in brain fog, and clarity of mind. I promise you. Cut out the grains, the breads, the pastas, the donuts, the cereals, all these sorts of things. They elevate your blood sugar, and it's going to damage your brain over time. So stop it. Um, so what else I want to say? We talked about your physical activity, increase that, improve your diet, cutting out the sugars. Um, so next, let's talk about learning things. Yes, um, learn new things. You can get free apps, programs on the computer or your phone to learn a foreign language. Maybe you like to travel. You could learn, you can learn Spanish or French or German or Korean or Russian. Um, I really wanted to learn Hebrew because a couple of years ago I was doing a lot of studying of Old Testament things, and Hebrew was coming up a lot, Hebrew words. And when I started just going on the internet, on YouTube, and learning Hebrew, it really helped me learn new things. Do you like music? Learn a new musical instrument. Um, 10 years ago, I picked up the fiddle and I taught myself how to play the violin. Just this year, I bought a baritone ukulele. I'm learning how to play that. When I was a kid, I've learned to play the piano, um, but just learning new songs on the piano. Anything that's going to be involved in learning something new, even if it's a skill you already have, like if you crochet or knit or sew, learn new techniques of how to do that. Uh, Maybe you could learn how to paint or draw. If you already know how to do these things, learn a new, what do you call it? A new type of art. Maybe you've never tried watercolor, or there's all different types of art out there. You can just try something new and learn the skills. Um, I've been taking an art class at the senior center, and it's great. Actually, the class I take is only for men, so it's really nice. Just like three or four of us guys are there with our teacher, and I really like it. So learn new things. Just keeping your brain active. Um, I've heard it said that doing crossword puzzles or Sudoku, jigsaw puzzles, these kinds of things keep our brains active, and that's very good to prevent dementia. Now, um, one thing I would say that you really should stay away from, and I know you're going to bucket this: television and movies. We watch too much TV and movies, and these things are numbing to our brains. It doesn't stimulate your mind at all. It's kind of like a drug. So, think about that. And there was one other area I wanted to talk about, changing your diet, exercise. Um, oh, darn, what was it? I don't know. But if I think of it, I'll add another video on here. But I would really like to see you make some of these changes in your life. Pick one thing that you could change pretty quickly and pretty easily, and stick with it, and keep a log. Just write down every day. If you're walking or you're going to yoga, going to an art class, um, if you're learning a new song, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. So I'm going to sum it up right there. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.